Alright, the fan's not terribly loud, so I hope it's not coming across the video like that. But this is the Black & Decker cooler. This is the specific one. I don't know what the name of it was. They did it by cans. This is the 12 can capacity. So I could essentially put two, oh yeah, it's nice and cold already. 2 6-packs is how they measured it. And I started talking about it last in the Duracell Power Pack there, and I've left it plugged in for this video as an experiment to see what kind of runtime we get on it. I can look up the wattage usage on this, but essentially what I wanted to talk about was I started talking about how the economy was coming down. Even national chains like Target were trying to carry less product on their shelves, and especially things that weren't moving. And nowadays, all of those companies have a huge database online that they don't necessarily carry in the stores necessarily. So more than likely, what they did was they went through and discounted a lot of stuff on the shelves and only kept it in warehouses that could be sent to you via ordering on the internet. And that was one of the things. This was originally $30-some. I think I got it for $12. I was tempted to get the one size up above this, which was the 18 can, but it was a little bit too big for what it is. If I was going to get something any bigger, I would want something a little bit more powerful. This again, it holds 12 cans. Let's tip the show you what it looks like. So essentially a 6-pack and a 6-pack. But I mean, it's a good amount of room. Especially if you just had the things that you needed to keep cold in there, your dairy, your open soups, your spaghetti sauces, all the stuff you guys commented about how to keep your food cold. And I guess as an addendum on there, with the emergency food storage videos, people are asking me, well, how are you going to keep it if once it has to be refrigerated once you open it? Well, you just have to plan that way. You're either going to dehydrate the rest of the tomato sauce in a dehydrator or out in the sun. You're going to eat it. You're just going to have to plan for it, unless you have a power backup plan. Whether you have a solar bank, batteries, or a generator that feeds certain parts of your house, that's really going to be up to you guys. You guys mentioned like with the soy milk, once you open it, it's supposed to be refrigerated. Well, once I open that, I'm going to probably have some for breakfast. I'll probably have some cereal for lunch, and I can easily drink the rest of it in a day, and I wouldn't worry about it really being open that day without being refrigerated. I would simply just consume it, and it would be stored in my body. Some people have mentioned that that's not really considered water as part of your water rationing, but it's still 90% water, and a little bit of soy. A lot of these products are it's going to suffice in your body as long as it's not caffeinated or highly salted items. Your body's going to retain that moisture. Caffeinated items and teas and sodas and stuff like that clearly aren't going to, because they're a diuretic and it will dehydrate you. That's the reason you have to go to the restroom quite a bit when you drink a lot of coffee. And alcohol, they're diuretics. Tea's the same way. So with this Black Decker product, there is a little bit of storage. The cord folds up in here nicely, so this is just sort of added utensils if you wanted to keep knives and forks and picnic stuff. This is small enough. The reason I didn't go any bigger, I can easily put this on my seat. I can have cup holders. These are non-heated cup holders, by the way. Another really neat product on here. Let me make sure I can lift this up. And this thing doesn't weigh anything. There's the controls for it, but you can see there's an off button, and I'm on the cold, but it also has hot. It'll keep items hot as well as cold. Now, any of these, it takes a little while to warm up or to cool off, but you also see low vehicle battery. I can have this plugged in my truck overnight, and for some reason I left something else on, or I was using one of my off-road lights without the truck running. This has an automatic shut-off when it detects low voltage in your battery, so it's not going to run your battery completely dead. Of course, it will slowly start to warm up, but it's still an insulated cooler. And obviously you can't feel this on the video, but as soon as I open that up, I feel cold air. It's only been on for Well, now about 12 minutes. And it's already pretty cold. And it's going to slowly get a little bit colder. But, you wouldn't necessarily have to have it on the entire time because it's going to keep your product pretty cold. But a really neat product. Keep your eye out for these sort of deals as the economy goes down and people are downscaling things on their shelves. Things like this are going to be $12. And there's nothing wrong with it. It wasn't a returned item. It wasn't an open box. It's just what they're trying to clearance off their shelves. And I realize that not everybody has a little bit of money, but in these preparation times, I wanted to have some sort of a cooler. Now I have a soft-sided cooler that will keep an ice pack cold for 55 hours. Now you saw my other videos where I had a piece of dry ice. If I put dry ice in one of those bags and it's going to not even thaw for 55 hours, I've got a good amount of time to store frozen goods and freezer goods and the grocery items that need to be refrigerated. So that is a great little addition to your bug out vehicle. With that power supply, you could easily use this in a base camp scenario or even in a bug-in scenario with a complete power outage. Obviously I think the power supply on here was 6 hours draw on a portable cooler, and of course it differs. If this was a bigger model, it would take a lot smaller, vice versa. But let me know if you have any questions with this guy. It is the thermoelectric travel cooler and warmer by Black & Decker, and that is my primary way of keeping things cold, whether I'm on the go or in the house during an emergency. Here's a temperature reading of the soy milk after being in the cooler for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's under 40 degrees. Perfectly health safety.